today I'm going to be showing you how I made this song.
When will I realize she's only here to hurt me?
The first thing I did was I started off with this respace. Super basic repeating pattern. And then the next thing I added to this intro was my vocal.
I crave the wholesome times we had. Gone with the wind, we won't see them again. The way we're living is all bad.
But I felt like my vocal was like a little empty. I felt like I could add a lot more to it. And I got inspired by this song Creeks by Bon Iver. It has like this vocoded vocal in the background that adds like a lot of wideness and like atmosphere to it. So I did something really similar.
Sometimes we had, gone through it, we won't see them again.
How I achieved that, I used this plugin called Harmony Engine by Antares. What it's basically doing is feeding this MIDI right here into that vocoder plugin. It's playing those notes in the MIDI. And they're all like panned left and right, mess with the throat length on some of them. For my main vocals on this song, I ran them through Elodyne, TubeTech compressor, Antares Autotune. And then I use this noise gate on RVox just to get rid of like the background noise and stuff when I'm not talking. And just basic EQ. 1176 LA2A compression. And then I put it through this FabFilter de-esser on the male wideband preset. Pretty sure I just messed with the threshold and turned up the range so it de-essed a little more. The S's were super strong in my vocal. And then I put some distortion on it with this decapitator, threw some more EQ on it. My vocal without all these effects sounds like this.
I crave the wholesome times we had.
And then with the effects, it sounds like this.
I crave the wholesome times we had. Gone with the wind.
What I do with like all my vocals too is I have like a bunch of sends. So this one I used Microshift, kind of like a chorus plugin, makes things like wider. And then I got this reverb. I took out the S noises more in the reverb. And then I have this parallel compression just with an 1176. I have this stereo enhancer to make things wider again. And then I have this slapback delay from Age Delay, some chorus and some reverb on it. So without all of these sends, it sounds pretty dry.
I crave the wholesome times we had.
I'll just add them all one at a time so you can hear what they all do.
I crave the wholesome times we had.
Makes it a little wider.
I crave the wholesome times we.
The reverb helps a lot.
I crave the wholesome times we.
Parallel compression just adds some compression, makes it a little louder.
I crave the wholesome time.
And the delay is just really subtle, but it goes well with the reverb.
I crave the wholesome times we had.
To add some more atmosphere. With all of those,
I crave the wholesome times we had. Gone with the wind, we won't see them again. The way we're.
Yeah, the sends really add a lot. And then for my harmony vocal, I did them a little bit different than my main vocal. This is Harmony Engine. And then I cut out the highs and lows, just so it's a little more in the background. Turn down some of the mids, just so it's also more in the background. And then I turned up the sides and the high mid frequencies. Compression, pretty strong de-esser, just so the S sounds don't get too overwhelming. Pretty sure I distorted these a little bit more than my mains too. More EQ. And then I added this Microshift to add some more atmosphere to them. Without effects, it sounds like this.
Sometimes we had, gone with the wind, we won't see them again. The way we're living is all bad.
So yeah, that's pretty much everything for the intro. It's just that bass and these vocals.
I crave the wholesome times we had. Gone with the wind, we won't see them again. The way we're living.
So then next, what I wanted to do is make a buildup into a drop. So I originally had started with all of these instruments over here. I didn't like how it sounded. It's like atmospheric or whatever, but like I wanted something like had some more rhythm, some more energy to it. It kind of evolves as the drop goes on, but still, it wasn't enough. It needed more. But what I used here was it's pretty strong saw bass. And then I also use these strings, which are just from like a serum pad. I also used this orchestra plugin that I'm pretty sure is free. Yeah, those are all the instruments that I used for the build-up, and this is all 3 of them together. The bass is playing the same notes as the intro too, it's just a different bass. I wanted it to be a little more like loud and like a little more high frequencies and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like that wasn't enough. So what I did is I messed around with it for a sec, and eventually I put it through this gross beat on a half repeat, and that added exactly what I needed. Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, that's it. And then what I did was I rendered all of it out so that I could like put some effects on it separately. And I just have the high frequencies filtering in throughout the buildup as the buildup goes on. You can see it opens up, the filter opens up. Then I just threw some OTT on it, some saturation on the high mids and the highs, and then a couple other things that I automated, like this dual bandpass filter for the drop. Then I also threw this Ozone 11 on it, which just helps the frequencies get cleaned up a lot easier and quicker than I can figure out sometimes. Okay, without this, it sounds completely different. Sounds like louder, more balanced, wider. So yeah, then what I also did was I took some of my vocals from the intro, and then I ran them through the gross beat on the half repeat again. And I ended up getting this. So yeah, that's basically all I did for the transition from like the intro into the build-up. For the next part of the build-up, that's where I added in this orchestra. Also added in some basic drums, just to give it more of like a build-up feeling. And then during this build-up, I also added in some vocals.
No Amsterdam diet didn't do me well. Oh no! For all my sins, I gotta place it out. Yeah!
Yeah, I mixed the main vocals the same, harmony vocals super similar too. I just recorded some doubles and then a lower octave and then panned them like left and right, but pretty much the same vocal chain as the other main vocals from earlier. All that together sounds like this.
I've been going off the deep end, I'm stuck on what she said. Whitney been feeding me lies. When will I realize she's only here to hurt me?
So yeah, then for this next part of the drop is where I added in a couple more instruments. I added this pad from Serum. It's just like a stabby saw chord. And then I added this lead. It's like a pretty basic lead. And then for the second half of the drop, I added in some of these toms too. So yeah, then all of that together sounds like this. Then I rendered that out and put it through the gross beat half repeat. But yeah, I feel like that wasn't enough, and I wanted it to sound more like dancey, so I added this sidechain. And then here's where like the toms get added in. Also for this part, I added in some pretty basic drums, a couple like percussion loops. Yeah, and then what that sounds like with the drums. And I tried like adding some vocals, chopping up some of my like vocals from the buildup onto this, but it didn't really sound right. So then I remembered what I did earlier with the gross beat, and I ended up chopping up some of the vocals that I had put through the gross beat, some of these vocals right here. Then I chopped up those vocals, put some effects on them, just put some OTT, a little bit of distortion, and then some sidechain. And the entire drop with everything together sounds like this. Also put this little like fill over here. So then what I did for the outro here was I cut out some of these drums, and then I took the bass from the intro and I put it through the half repeat on gross beat, which sounds like this. And I changed some of the vocal chops that I had from earlier. All that together sounds like this. And then I just ended it all off with the end of the intro that I had. But I automated in this plugin called Crystallizer, which is like this granular echo plugin, and it just creates these like swelling sounds. You'll be able to hear them like.
We create chaos, the one that we live in. Our world comes.
Yeah, like that swelling noise is that plugin. So yeah, that's my entire song, New Amsterdam Diet. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown. Leave any questions in the comments, and let me know if I should break down some more of my songs. I'm going to go ahead and play the entire thing for you, and I hope you enjoyed.
I crave the wholesome times we had. Gone with the wind, we won't see them again. The way we're living is all bad. Ran by a diet of New Amsterdam. Why is it so hard for us to chill? We do too much to chase the thrill. A late night cruise, deep talk, I want, I need, my heart keeps sinking. I can't wait for you no more, I'm done, I'm gone, the drugs, I'm leaving. We create chaos, the one that we live in. Our world comes crumbling down, but I just won't give in. Whoa. create chaos, the one that we live in. Our world comes crumbling down, but I just won't give in.